pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Rogers?
Present.
Trustee Sweets? Present. Trustee Varian?
Present.
Mayor Yukich?
Present. Is there a motion to amend the agenda to add under new business discussion regarding a request for a change in installation methods for the Fitterman Creek Sanitary Sewer? So moved. Trustee Gray.
I'll second.
Trustee Sweets. Where are we at, Madam?
New business.
So to amend it,
I think there's no action to take, so you can just
Not right now.
discuss things in your business.
Okay.
You don't get that up first.
We don't need to do a roll call.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And just call the roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweets? Aye. Trustee Varian?
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of April 25th, 2018, committee of the whole meeting?
I so move.
Sweets.
Second.
Trustee Varian, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of June 27th, 2018, village board meeting? So. Trustee Gray.
Second.
Trustee Sweets. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of July 11th, 2018, village board meeting?
So moved.
Trustee Gray.
Varian.
Trustee Varian.
I'll second.
Trustee Sweets. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the accounts payable for the period of August 24th, 2018 through September 27th, 2018?
So second.
Trustee Gray, Trustee Varian, discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweets? Aye. Trustee Gray?
Aye. Motion carries. Reports and communications from the mayor and other officers. Start out, fall season in Homer Glen. Fall is a busy season in Homer Glen with many family activities for residents to enjoy. The Fall Farm Fests are in full swing with thousands of visitors each week. Please drive with extra caution due to increased traffic and pedestrians. Take time to enjoy the fall season in Homer Glen. On this coming Saturday, September 29th, 2018, there will be a Homer Glen hazardous waste, motor oil, and electronics collection event. This event is for Will County residents only, and you must make an appointment. For more information, please call 815-727-8834 or visit the willcountygreen.com website. Event flyers are also located on a table by the door if you would like to take one. And last on the road, they do seem to be moving on 159th Street. I wish it would go a little bit faster. The businesses are getting hurt. The traffic is starting to go like over the park. Don't want that. So we are staying on top of them. We've had the state representatives come in, Senator Curry and Representative Durkin. We are going to have the Randy from IDOT come in. He's going to take a look and see some of the issues that we have to see if we push this thing a little bit quicker. But other than that, the only thing we can say is just be careful driving. They're working hard. And hopefully, we got to get stuff this year, like they said. Go to the board of trustees. Trustees, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting for the Environment Committee, the Community and Nature Award Ceremony will take place during the board meeting on October 10th. Our stargazing event on September 14th was very successful. We estimated the attendance to be around 300 people. It was a perfectly clear night with the emphasis on viewing Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, Hercules, and the Milky Way galaxy. The Environment Committee would like to thank the Kankakee Area Stargazers, the Naperville Astronomical Association, and the Southwest Observers Group for making their telescopes and expertise available to our residents and visitors. Events like this could not take place without the assistance of the Homer Glen Emergency Management Agency, Homer Township, School District 92, and members of the Environment Committee. A big thank you for all that you do. That concludes my report.
Thank you, trustees, please. Trustee Rogers.
No report.
Rogers. Trustee Curry.
No report, Mayor.
Curry. Trustee Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of Public Safety, I just want to mention that on Wednesday, October 3rd, FEMA will conduct a test of its Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, IPAWS, which brings together two existing alert systems, the Emergency Alert System and the Wireless Emergency Alert System. The system also will mark the first time that a presidential alert will be sent out to the majority of cell phone owners, who also will not be able to opt out of receiving that text message. FEMA will conduct a nationwide wireless emergency alert test on October 3rd, next Wednesday at 1:18 in the afternoon, and that will be followed by the nationwide emergency alert, which will be on broadcast TV and radio at 1:20. The test will read Presidential Alert and will include the following text. This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is required. And in Will County, lately there's been numerous reports of suspicious activity in nearby neighborhoods. A man's been impersonating a cleaning product salesman going door to door in nearby communities as a ruse to steal. Police say the man knocked on doors, checked the residents' or homes, and if they are, he tossed them while out cleaning spray, but he has no intention of selling anything. If they are not home, they're saying that he's stealing packages on porches. He's also checking nearby vehicles for unlocked cars. So again, just be vigilant about locking your cars, making sure your property is locked up, and if you see something happening in your neighborhood, just reach out to the Will County Sheriff's Department or even the village. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gray. Village Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the Treasurer's Report of Cash and Investments at August 31, 2018. It's the fourth month of fiscal 19. Shows the general fund with a balance of $5,483,062.53. The special event fund had a balance of $51,751.02. The environment fund had a balance of $87,879.53. The motor fuel tax fund had a balance of $1,227,747.38. Park and Recreation Fund had a balance of $3,991,769.81. The Debt Service Fund had a balance of $3,306,523.17. The Capital Project Fund had a cash and investment balance of $1,030,458.13. The EAB Tree Replacement Fund had a balance of $356,519.30, and the last fund, the Capital Project Bond Fund, had a cash and investment balance of $13,361,342.39. Grand total, all funds, at August 31, 2018 was $28,897,056.26. And that concludes my report.
Can you, your purchase number that you read and what I'm seeing here is different, I think. Can you tell me can you go back to that slide?
Yes, it should be $3,991,769.81. Are you looking in there's three columns?
Okay. The other one has $3,991,772.81.
That's year to date.
Right.
3,991,769.81.
Yeah, this is
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I have an error in here. It should be, I'll have to fix it. I can't tell you which one is right or wrong at this point. I could tell you.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's one of the, right. Others,
I hope it's
It's the 772.81. That number is correct. I'm sorry.
You're safe.
So, my bad, I'll fix it, and it'll be corrected, and it will balance next month for sure.
We're good. That $3 is a good.
Thank you for checking that, I appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, village clerk,
Oh, no report, thank you.
village attorney.
You know what, I take that back. I'm sorry, I'm having surgery a week from today, and I'll be out for 7 to 10 days. But I will be at home and available on my cell phone, and I'll be doing my best to get caught up on all the minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you. Hope everything was great. Public safety officials.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Yeah, just kind of riding the coattails of Trustee Gray, just a reminder to everybody with these burglary and motor vehicles, if you see anything suspicious at all, and this could be day or night, it's not just people working around at night, it could be during the daytime like you had alluded to, checking out the area. If there's anything suspicious at all, something doesn't seem right, give us a call. Too often we hear after the fact, yeah, I should have called, but I didn't want to bother you. Well, that's what you're paying us for, so, call us, okay? If you want to check it out, we'd rather know ahead of time. The public is the eyes and ears on the ground for us, okay? I just wanted to reiterate, too, that the vast majority of these burglary to motor vehicles, stolen cars, are unlocked vehicles, okay? Just for peace of mind for the public. We're not seeing them jimmying car doors and breaking windows out. It's crimes of opportunity, okay? We get a lot of speeding complaints in the neighborhoods, and what we're finding, folks, again, the vast majority of those speeders that we find are your neighbors. It's people that live right there. So just get the word out, remind high school kids or college kids when they're home, slow it down in the neighborhood, okay? A lot of us just not paying attention. As always, we are more than happy to serve you, and we love being part of this community, so thank you. That's my report.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
You got it, Mayor.
Just one note in there too. We do have a solicitation permit here, so if somebody comes to your door soliciting any type of product or service, they're required to get a permit here at the village prior to that. If they're out there and they don't have a permit, they do get ID cards, notify the village so we can follow up on that. Thank you.
Joe, you still have the stickers for the doors?
We do. Yeah, stickers, no solicitation available here at the village offices.
All right, if you do come up to the village hall, we have stickers you can put on the door. It says that they can't knock on the door, they can't bother you. That's what I would suggest putting on the door. It saves the headache of even opening it up to someone who you don't know. So stop in the village and grab a couple of those for the front of your door so this way they can't knock it. And like Joe said, if someone's coming to the door, you got to make sure they got the badge, they got the permit. And I wouldn't mind anything from anyone that comes to that. But that's me. Okay, next would be public comment. Okay, first is Christopher Nye.
Yes.
You want to step up?
I'm here for our Mother of Good Counsel. We are presenting the zoning request for the setback change, and I'm simply here to this evening, if there are any questions, I'll be able to answer them.
Okay, Christopher, if there's anything that does come up, you're more than welcome to come up there this way. We get it straight out. Thank you, sir. Neil Link.
I'm here in a similar capacity to, I guess, give my support for the zoning deviation that is being requested by our Mother Good Council Church. I was at the Planning Commission 3 weeks ago, and some of the questions and concerns I had was regarding the sidewalk. I'm actually going to extend this sidewalk that doesn't yet exist, as well as keep the trees that are existing on the property. And one of my questions was the setback, how far would it be, which actually matches the subdivision. I live in the subdivision behind our Mother Good Council, the Country View Estate subdivision. And so the setbacks that are being requested are the same as the setbacks in Country View Estate, so it's actually similar with the neighborhood quite well. So I'm going to give my support for that project, and thank you guys for, it looks like it's a nice project.
Thank you. If there's anything, we'll bring it up at the same time.
Thank you.
Greg Victor?
The same thing that Neil has, so.
Okay. Joe McCormick?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm here in support of Chris Nye's request. Father Joe McCormick, I'm pastor of St. Bernard's. Hope to be a resident in the new place.
Thank you. Rebecca Mason?
I have a different topic. So I'm slightly unprepared, but I will give you my reason for being here. I'm a newer resident of Homer Glen, been here a year and a half, built a brand new home over in Evans Gate area, which some of you may be familiar with. I've actually spoken to you a couple times. We're actually in the north section, and so there's a south section and a north section, and there's two roundabouts in the neighborhood, and the developers finally finished the neighborhood, was required to put up, do completion with signs and crosswalks and things. So all of that went in, and I'm sure you've received some phone calls about it. The amount of signs that have gone up at the roundabouts are excessive. There was 18 total at each roundabout. So this is, the roundabouts were put in for beauty. It wasn't really, so roundabouts' purpose, of course, is to slow people down. The roundabouts were put in. I'm sure the developer put them in just as kind of a nice enhancement. Those of you that have been back there, it's a beautiful, beautiful area with all the ponds and pavilions and, an incredible amount of money spent. And people that are building homes there appreciate that. That was one of the reasons I ended up here. There's a lot of displeasure as far as the amount of signs that have been put up. So I did a little research on, what's required, and I've got examples of actually there's another neighborhood over in Lamont that has a small roundabout off of 127th Street. There's one sign with a yield and a circle to show that you go around the roundabout. So I'm just asking for consideration. I know that the town or somebody has been out there and taken 3 signs away, so now there's only 15 signs around the roundabout. But it's really kind of like sign clutter, and it just kind of diminishes the whole look of what was supposed to be a beautiful feature of the neighborhood. In the middle of the roundabouts, for those of you that have not seen it, there's fountains, and just a lot of money has been spent on it, and the signs are really taking away from that. So I would appreciate any kind of consideration there could be to reduce the amount of signs in the neighborhood, in those areas. I do have one example. Can I give you something now or no? Yes? I actually had spoken to you about the Promenade Mall, but you said that did not apply because Promenade Mall is a private area and this is public. This is, I can just leave this with you. This is just a picture of the roundabout in Lamont. There's a simple sign with a yield and a circle to show you to go around. Unfortunately, I do not have a picture of our roundabouts, but they're impressive. They're impressive with the amount of signs.
You did one on Facebook.
So yeah, there's just a lot of displeasure, so I'm kind of here speaking. I don't know, I haven't polled the entire neighborhood, but I'd say it's over 90% are really, really unhappy with
Did you ask the developer if he was required to by his engineering or his studies?
Oh, I know the whole story. So apparently when it was signed off on 10 years ago, when he started it 10 or 11 years ago, the plan was written as such. Why, I don't know. I actually spoke to you when the signs were going up, and you stated that fact, that when it was approved by the board back over a decade ago, for some reason, all of those signs and crosswalk, you know, all that stuff was put in and approved. So now that he's finished and he's trying to get out and do his completion, he was required to put up all these signs, and I think he kind of asked, like, can there be a variance? And it was well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for what he asked for and what was, but apparently there was no variance, and all the signs went up. So it's really kind of nice, and I would just appreciate, you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful subdivision, like nothing else in the south suburbs at all. The amount of money spent on the outdoor beautification process that's happened out there. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Can I just try and, I know exactly what she's talking about in the lot, because I have 2 clients there, but there is a roundabout in Plainfield, I believe. It's off of Renwick. If you go past Route 59, before you get to the light that's past downtown Plainfield, but I can't remember what the north-south street is, and it is a major roundabout, and they only have 2 signs for ingress and egress.
Just to give a little bit, maybe some information, you know, as Ms. Mason had mentioned, the contractor did put the signs in. This was in accordance with the approved subdivision plan. The signage is also in accordance with the manual on uniform traffic control devices, which is a manual that's put out by the Federal Highway Administration, and basically the whole goal is to get, you know, signage uniform, you know, throughout all communities so that everything is consistent. We did go in and take a look, and we did, you know, as she mentioned, it was village staff, our consultant, and then the highway department. We did walk through these areas and look to see how we can make some adjustments. We did have some signs directly developed to remove some of the signage. We will continue to look at this matter to see if there is any other modifications. Some of the signs, we did make some modifications to the locations. One, for better visibility, is primarily for better visibility of the signs too. But they're of course there for the, you know, for the protection of the motorists and of course the pedestrians that go through those areas, especially since the one is located there in Park.
But there are different rules depending on what type of roundabout it is, and it appears that the roundabout signage that we have is based on if you have 2 lanes of traffic. You know, this would be, you know, like in a, you know, the downtown area or something where you've got 2 lanes of traffic going around. We've got the huge chevron sign, this big, in the middle of our roundabouts, 4 of them. You can't even see the fountains or anything anymore. The big chevrons. And based on everything that I could find, and I'm not an expert by no means, that the chevron is really not required for what we would consider a mini roundabout, which is inside of a urban neighborhood. And then I did find something on the U.S. Department of Transportation, which I wasn't going to bring up because I know that your village streets, you can put whatever signs or whatever you require on your village streets, right? So it said the amount of signage required at individual locations is based solely on engineering judgment. However, in practice, the designer can usually use fewer and smaller signs in urban settings than in rural settings. This is true because drivers are generally traveling at lower speeds and have higher levels of familiarity at urban intersections. Another consideration in urban settings is to use the minimum amount of signs to avoid sign clutter, which is what we have. We have sign clutter.
And we did look at some of that. I think the chevrons, that one can probably be reduced in size, and there is a potential for, I think, removing the one-way signs as well too. So, like I said, we have looked at it. We will continue to look in, you know, further to see what modifications we can certainly do.
Okay.
We will look into it.
All right. Thank you.
Next would be Marion Strickland.
I'm here for another good council that I hope that you approve the variance that we're asking on the rectory. I think that it will enhance the area. It does not impact the traffic into the subdivision anymore. There'll be additional trees that will be built or that will be planted. And the variance for the front, I believe the front does face the west, and the side is what is of the house of the proposed rectory is what is parallel to the entrance into the subdivision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last one for the church, I think is Fred Filippo.
Yeah, I'm for the Motherhood Council. It's a good concept. It ties in with the residential character of the subdivision to the east. And it'll fit in well with that subdivision.
Okay, we'll be discussing this. Mike Frislow.
Evening, Mayor, Trustees. Since you mentioned roads, I thought I'd bring up today that I had the occasion to be with the Governor and the Secretary of Transportation. We did the groundbreaking today for the new interchange at I-80 and Maple Avenue in New Lenox. I know it's not in Homer, but it is going to affect and help with traffic on I-80 that goes to 355 that comes here. It's a $40 million investment, and I think it's going to be great for this whole area. But when I did talk to the Secretary of Transportation, I also said we need to get 159th done. He agreed, so I think if we just keep the pressure on, they'll put the pressure on and get that thing done.
He should be here this week, so
Good.
they're working well over this.
Thanks.
Thank you. Last one would be Mike Weiss.
Good evening. I'm here for the first legislation and action item. If there are any other questions or anything else I can do, full board present. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. All right, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-046, an ordinance granting a variance to reduce the required side yard setback from accessory structure from 20 feet to 7 feet to 20-503 A2 Rural Residence District of Chapter 220 zoning of the Code of the Village of Homer, Glen for certain real property located in the A2 Rural Residence District, 16821 South Parker Road, Homer, Glen, Illinois.
I so moved.
Trustee Sweet. Second. Trustee Gray. Discussion.
Planner McGinnis, would you just give us a brief?
Sure, absolutely. So the property is zoned A2, rural residence. The proposed structure has been proposed on an existing concrete pad. That concrete pad once had a similar structure, same shape and size. On it, it was in pretty bad shape, so they chose to demolish it. They then came in for a building permit to build a new structure on the existing pad. And that's when it was determined that it sat too close to the property lines per the existing village legislation, or regulations rather. And so they would have to go through the variance process in order to replace that structure with a new one. So it's another case of legal nonconformity. They've come in requesting to continue in a manner with a newer structure.
Thank you.
The non-conformity is the placement of the building?
Yeah,
It's not the size of the building, right?
No, it's simply just a setback. I went ahead and did a review of the full proposal prior to doing the variance to see what all we'd be looking at for a variance request, and the side yard setback is the only request they would need. Everything else is okay.
So they're entitled to this size of building on that piece of property, and if we voted to deny the variance and they moved the building to a different part of the land, they would actually be impacting that land more in the long run by having to come in, bulldoze, all of that. So, I mean, as well as I'd like to just ask that those pictures of the building, the existing building that were there, is that what it looked like before, or is that in the middle of demolition? Because if that's...
The question is, there's nothing down there.
No, I know these other pictures that show it in a kind of dilapidated state. Is that how it was when you tore it down?
Correct.
Okay, good job. That's all I have.
And the letter is from your next door neighbor?
Yes.
16721?
Yes.
And he's fine with that?
Trustee
Aye.
Rogers? Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Motion carries. You're all set.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-047, an ordinance granting one special use permit to create a planned unit development, PUD, two, special use permit for a religious institution, and three, a PUD exemption to reduce the required front yard setback for the proposed accessory building from 80 feet to 30 feet for certain real property located in the R1 Single Family Residential District at 16043 Southwell Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, H 1824-SV, our mother of good counsel.
So moved.
Trustee Burrian,
Second.
Trustee Rogers, discussion.
I think there was some confusion regarding the setbacks, but BJ's email this week, clarified everything, so I think I'm fine with it. And, there was a little bit of confusion, but I'm good.
I haven't seen any issues with it. Any other comments on it? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Barry?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, is there a motion to approve resolution number 18-006, a resolution approving the reduction of letter of credit in the Evans Gate subdivision in the amount of $81,433.82 from the current LLC amount of $111,728.10. It is understood that approval of this reduction will result in $30,294.28 remaining in the LLC in accordance with the closeout agreement. It also is understood that acceptance of all remaining improvements will be conditional upon the remaining minor signage work.
So moved.
Mr. Gray,
Second.
Mr. Burry, discussion?
What is left as far as improvements that we're holding on to, or what do they have to finish?
The one remaining item is in connection with Evelyn's Gate North. There was one stop sign that was behind the tree. The property owner was going to eventually remove the tree, so that hasn't taken place yet. But otherwise, everything else has been addressed.
Why don't we remove the sign and move
It's a
the
stop
sign
sign.
in front of the tree?
Well, we've given various options. The stop signs have to be a certain distance from the stop bar. So unfortunately, it's directly behind the tree.
And that's all that's left?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Barry?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Motion carries. Approval of the village-sponsored Veterans Day event. Is there a motion to approve a village-sponsored Veterans Day event to take place November 11, 2018, with a not-to-exceed budget of $7,500?
So moved.
Mr. Dorian? Mr. Gray? Discussion?
Well, I know we had talked last time, and I was looking for, $5,000, but I've since then, initially it was the village and the VFW, but the Legion, the Lockport Legion has partnered with us as well now, and they believe that the estimated numbers that I had for attendance was too low, so I would just rather be under budget than over budget. With it being a free event, it's really hard to say how many people will show up. And we do have the expenses, we're doing hot dogs and pizzas and popcorn and beverages and face painting, some music and things like that. So there is some expenses. The unknown expense is the food really right now. I don't know how many people will come, so I would rather just be under budget than over budget with the $7,500.
Okay. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet? Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
And thank you, Trustee Rogers, because this is something that we should have had for a long time. You initiated it. Mr. Joel.
Well, hopefully it'll be good weather, but even if it's not, it's still, there's a, it'll all be underneath the tent at Konos. Some of the rides and things will still be available for the kids, weather pending, so hopefully it'll be a good day, nice day.
Thank you. Number 5, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-048, an ordinance amending 83-68 of the Code of the Village of Homer Glen, increasing the number of Class B liquor licenses issued within the Village of Homer Glen. It is understood that the number of Class B liquor license, restaurant and bar will increase by 1.
So moved.
A second.
Rogers. Discussion.
Yes, Mayor, I have a few questions. When it says they're looking for a Class B restaurant and bar, we don't have any information as far as what's on the menu. What are they considering? Because restaurant says here, using stoves, ovens, fryers, and related equipment with fire protection systems that conform to the village ordinances. The sale of packaged foods such as chips, popcorn, frozen and pre-made foods such as pizza, burgers, sandwiches is not really considered. So I'm pointing this out because in their application they said they want to also in the future go for gaming. So is this a technical, since we don't have a menu or anything, is this a full restaurant? What is this, a snack bar? This considered?
Manager?
Wouldn't,
I've met with the applicants a couple times. They have 2 other locations in Chicago. They have a full kitchen and a full menu. Their menus are available online. This will just be a 3rd location. They're
famous for pizza.
They're hooking up the existing equipment that is already within the location but was never hooked up by the prior owners. And it will be a full restaurant with walls and separate entrances within the building of the Megaplex.
they don't get their liquor license technically in hand until they get a certificate of occupancy and things of that nature. So they have to verify that they're building a full restaurant and everything. I mean,
Right. We don't require the full menu to be provided with the application.
Okay.
but we would require that he measure the square footage, that Joe measures the square footage and verifies that there's a full working kitchen that is capable. And then we can spot monitor at any point to make sure that they are, honoring that part of it.
Right.
We do that with any of the businesses that qualify for the liquor or gaming in the village.
And they're aware of the 6-month waiting period that I'm giving you, and they don't have a problem.
Okay.
Okay, any other on the first one? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-049, an ordinance assigning an available Class B liquor license restaurant and bar to Home Run Hospitality, Inc., DBA Pork and Carry, at the office, 15301 Southwell Road, Glen, Illinois.
You also have I said you want to refer with me. Just, you also want to add you refer with me.
The liquor license runs for a year. By the time they get this thing set, we're halfway through the year, so rather than charging a full amount, it was not going to be there. We decided to prorate the annual fee to 50% next year to go back to what a normal license is.
Beginning in April. Yeah.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion?
When are they thinking they're going to open?
It's going to be a little bit, they're still building out the inside. They still have to get, by law, they still have to have fingerprints taken, so we make sure that nothing's happening.
They haven't even applied for permits.
Yeah, we haven't got any.
So we're probably going a couple months before this happens, and he's already in the back half of the year, so that was the other reason.
The ordinance, the liquor ordinance already applies prorated fee beginning November 1st anyway.
Well, I'm excited.
Me too.
Any other questions or concerns? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Herring?
Aye.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any old business? Is there any new business? This is going to be Mike Crawford for Figment Creek, and he's got some good news for us.
As the board knows, construction of the 50 Creek sanitary sewer is finally underway. The project consists partly of directional augering, basically trenchless technology, so they're augering the pipes under the ground, and then open cut, which is basically, dig the trench, put the pipe in, that sort of thing. There are a couple locations that we initially had called out on the plans to do the trenchless, the augering of the sanitary sewer. And the original purpose was we were trying to save as many trees as we could. A couple of the areas that were in question, I've provided kind of a small exhibit, and it would be between manhole 1A and manhole 2, which is that small section kind of highlighted in yellow at the top, and then between manholes 3 and manholes 5, which is that longer one on the lower section. The area where these, what the contractor, staff contractor, and our consulting engineer, HR team, we've been kind of working on this to try to look at alternate methods of construction. The area in question, the trees have already been removed, so by doing the trenchless technology in that area, it wouldn't save any trees. So we're looking, and the contractor is looking to go to the actual, the open cut in these couple areas. By doing the open cut, for one, it'll actually speed up construction a little bit because the trenchless takes a lot longer time. But the better part of it is it'll actually save the village $145,000 to change these runs from the trenchless to the open cut. So what staff is looking to do is we're looking to get consensus from the village board to direct staff to basically give the contractor to go ahead to change from the trenchless in these runs to the open cut. Probably like I said, there's not going to be any additional trees removed. There might be a little bit more disturbance, for the adjacent property that initially the trenchless might have had lessened, but since the open cut actually will go quicker, they should be out of the area much quicker, a couple weeks quicker than, like I said, than with the trenchless. And this will help us to keep on our schedule. We have the 2 phases of the project, and so it'll help the contractor to stay on schedule with definitely with that first phase.
What is the length of that longer run?
It's probably a couple hundred feet. I don't have the information right now, but I can certainly get that information to the board.
But you don't think it's more than 300-400 feet?
It's somewhere in that vicinity. I'd have to check what I can get the information, the plans to the board.
Mike, this is still part of phase 1, the part that's connecting up the Blue property?
Correct.
So for me, I'm much happier to see it go a little bit faster because I know that this is a time-sensitive portion of this project. And if we can shorten that time and make sure that we come in with a comfort level of, having a little more cushion at the end, I would appreciate that more as much as I would appreciate the $145,000 savings. So.
And the one section that they've already been doing, the trenchless, they've run into a lot of large boulders, which has slowed them up even more. So, it's easier to get a boulder out of the trench than it is to try to drag it through, break it up and drag it through the casing pipe.
You had me at faster and cheap. Any other questions? Consensus?
Speak now.
So everyone's okay with it? All right, Mike.
Thank you.
Make that phone call. Next, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Meeting adjourned.